Hello, hello. Welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley, and welcome to Business English. In this class, uh, we will be doing a lot of discussion, sharing ideas, practicing our English, as well as learning vocabulary related to the topic, maybe just a little sprinkling of grammar in there as well. A general topic being business English. Today's focus will be on internal communications, how we communicate inside the company. In business, we often use the terms internal or possibly in-house to talk about things that happen inside the company, and external or out of house to talk about dealing with other companies or customers, and media, things like that. Any dealings outside the confines of the business environment of the specific company. Today we're going to discuss internal communications, how we like to communicate, what is the best way to communicate in different situations, and as well we'll take a peek at some acronyms and abbreviations, and we'll look at some vocabulary related to internal communication. Okay, we're going to start off with a general discussion about how you like to communicate, and how you like to communicate in the workplace. Plenty of room in the class. In fact, this class largely discussion, so come on in and join me, because waiting for students. Come on in. Let's get this class started. There we go. Okay, great. Hello, Sasha. How are you today?
Good morning. Hi. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Okay. It's a very cool and rainy day here, so a little bit of a sleepy kind of day. Shiny?
For me, here.
Okay.
Very shiny today.
Okay. Actually, all right. Let's start
Sunny.
learning English. Sunny. There you go. In English, yeah, it's a common mistake. Yeah, English speakers don't say it's shiny out. The sun is shining, or it's sunny out, or clear. Oh, it's nice and clear here. Okay, but anyway, cool. That's cool. Good for you. That's great. Anyway, welcome to the class. Good to have you here. And all right, we've got some others who've joined us. Terrific. We can get the ball rolling. Hello, Saiban. Hello again.
Hello again, teacher. How are you?
Okay.
Did you have your? Oh, okay. So you ate. Did you have your lunch?
I did.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm not hungry anymore. Okay, and hello, David. Welcome to the class.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing okay. All right, this is our basic focus in this class this week at this time slot here on Verbling is business English. And today I want to talk about communications, internal communications in particular. So I'd like to just basically discuss with you guys a little bit about, here's a list of some different ways that we communicate. Yeah, email, one-to-one, interview, memos, have a meeting, handwritten notes. All right, different methods of communicating in a business. And I'd like to first, just using this as a reference, talk to you about it a little bit. Sasha, how do you like to communicate professionally, internally, with other people inside the company? What is your preferred? What is your preference, rather?
Using by phone calls.
Okay, by using the phone.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, why is that?
It's very convenient, and it's easy. It's fast. It's you you have your cell phone every time with you. It's just easy and simple and very fast.
Okay. All right. All right. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. All right. Fine. I myself, I hate using the phone. I just have this weird. It's not like I'm afraid of the phone. I just don't like using it. I'm very uncomfortable. If I'm on the phone, I have to be pacing. I'm nervous and I gesture and then I don't know. I just hate it. So for me, it's not comfortable. But it's a very personal thing. So Simon, for you, how do you like to communicate? Well, you're a student, but you've worked before. How do you like to communicate in the workplace with other
Okay.
coworkers?
Yes. Actually, by phone, teacher. I mean, by cell phone, actually. Because we are really, as you know, a third world country. We still, I mean, we still working. I mean, in a really traditional way. But I mean, the easiest one, I think, the cell phone or the communicating by phone is the easiest one. So I think phone call will be the excellent one for me.
Okay. All right, that's your preference. How about you, David? What do you prefer?
It depends on the information I like to share and how many people is involved how many people are involved in this communication.
Okay.
For very personal topics, I prefer to talk with the other person face to face. To communicate to many people, I think the email is the best option. For things that you have to do right now, I think it's better to make a phone call. If you are working and you have different shifts in your place of work, perhaps a handwritten note it's better because you don't have to disturb the other, and he can read the note when he arrives to the work. And I don't have one that like me more than the others. I think it depends on the kind of the information you want to transmit or to share.
Okay, all right, and that is a lovely segue into our next, what we're going to do next. We're going to look at what might possibly be the best way to communicate in different situations. Exactly, because there maybe it might be better if we examine it closer, as David says, to communicate in a different way for different types of things. Okay, one English note, David. He can see the handwritten note when he arrives at work, not arrives to the work. First of all, we don't use the with work. The general idea of work, we don't need to use the, and we don't say arrive to work. You can go to work. But just the collocation, the preposition is at. You arrive at the train station. You arrive at home. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, though. Great. Just the idea I was looking for. Actually, what you expressed is exactly where I was going with the lesson. But before we do that, I need to welcome Jonathan, and I have a question for you, Jonathan.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Jonathan. I have a different question for you.
Yes.
See these? If you can see the screen share, there's a whole bunch of different, 10 different ways to communicate in the business place.
Okay.
Does your company, does where you work use all of these? Some of these? What ones?
I think yeah, all of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah. The article in the House magazine, I think that's not.
You don't have an
But
in-house
they
magazine. Yeah.
no, but they have a suggestion box and a board and informal chat, obviously, phone call, meeting memo. Yeah, they have almost everything.
Okay. Great. All right. Um, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, smoke
But
signal.
I prefer email. I try to
You
do
do.
everything in email. I
Okay.
think it's a good way to. I'm tech savvy, so I like to do everything in the computer.
Okay. All right. Got to be careful with email, though. You know what they say? Once you write it down in an email, it's forever.
Yeah.
So if
And
you,
now Gmail have an undo button that you can have like
ah,
15 seconds to undo the email.
oh, is that right? I don't have that feature. I need that feature.
I think it's
Okay.
something new, like last week or something like that.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's a good feature. Yeah. It's kind of a business axiom. An expression that's used, an axiom is an expression that's used as a rule. The idea that once you write something down, uh, um, then it's forever and you can't deny it. There's proof. There's written proof. If you wrote an email, for example.
Yeah, that's a good way to have a track of everything we talk.
Okay. Keep track.
The,
Keep
keep track.
track. Keep track of.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, you're right.
The only problem is some people don't read the email or read the email and they say that they don't read the email in time or something like that, and that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, so as David suggested, we're now going to talk about some of these by thinking about which method of communication might be best situationally. So let's look at these one by one. Just go ahead and read the situation and then talk about what your opinion is. What do you think? Sasha, um, okay, what might be good? There might be more. There's no wrong or right answer, and there might be more than one good answer. So keep that in mind. Sasha, can you read the first one?
Yes. Informing office staff of a visit by senior managers. You are the office manager.
Okay. What do you think? Again, all right. We're telling them that there's a visit by, if you remember, upper level management. Okay.
And
Yeah.
should I uh, mm, I have to do something. I informed. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
As if this was a situation, how would you handle it? How would you communicate? So
Yes, yes.
inform, remind, whatever.
I agree with David what she said before about many people. It's by email
Okay. You would use email
to
to
staff.
inform your
Yes,
staff that there was
yes.
okay. But, all right. Any specific reason?
It depends on work. If it's white collar stuff, which sit in office, of course, it would be more convenient to use email for this. And if it's, I don't know, maybe a blue worker on some object at some object, and I think I would call to the senior worker, and he would told everyone that I am coming.
He would tell.
I would tell.
Oh, okay, but I think I'm not sure if you understand. You are the office manager. You have a staff. Your managers are coming.
Ah, okay.
All right. So the really high up officers, for example, you work in one facility, but the headquarters of your company is in another country, and they're coming to visit you, something like that.
This still email. I would choose
Still?
email.
Yeah. Okay. First
Maybe
of all,
in person if it's in office. Maybe in person. I don't know. To everybody at the same time. If everybody in the same room, of course I would.
Yeah.
I would do it in person.
Yeah. Personally, I would have a meeting myself, and simply because what Jonathan and I were talking about a second ago. Once it's in an email, it's like evidence. So, frankly, why would I say, does anybody know why? Anybody can answer this. Sasha, you too. Why would I want to have a meeting? Why would I not want this written down? I want to talk to my staff about senior officers coming. Does anybody know?
Excuse me, teacher. I
Yeah.
think
there
are some information are very sensitive. So I mean, you might it will be not understandable by email. I mean, so you have to meet with your senior. It's very serious. It's very serious. I mean, so I think if you meet them and give them the detail, will be more. I mean, understandable. It will be more easier. They will get it. Is I mean more easy than the email, or maybe sometime they for a technical reason or for the technology reason they will not probably not get email, or so I think meeting is better.
Okay. Not sure if I completely understand you. Okay, can anybody else think of a reason? Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that I will do a meeting too, because the boss of my boss will be there, and they better know that they are coming.
Yeah.
In and it's better for me to have a meeting with them and explain that they should be ready, because I don't want my head in the
Right. You don't want your head in the noose.
yeah.
Yeah. Or, I guess you have to be 18. You don't want your ass in a sling.
That too.
That too. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a very serious. There's two reasons I would have a meeting, and I think both of you guys kind of touched on it. I would have a meeting. One, I think Saivan mentioned there might be sensitive information. Yes. For example, the vice president of operation farts a lot, and he smells bad. You can't actually let him know that he stinks. He's very sensitive about it. Okay, this is not something I need to be putting in an email. Never. Okay? I've got to communicate this forcefully to my staff, there could be sensitive information about personalities here that I just don't want to be making. I don't want to be writing down. I don't want a record. Okay, that's one reason. Very close to what Simon said, and what you were hinting at. I think, in my opinion, this is totally my opinion. We're all sharing opinions here. There's no wrong or right. It depends on the company culture. It depends on the business that you're in. But I think a meeting to announce information is more forceful. There's a greater sense of urgency. Basically, what Jonathan was talking about, you could impress more upon them how important it is to do certain things or act certain ways. Rather than an email, people sometimes just tend to, if it's not immediately actionable, something they have to do right now, an email's good for that. Do this, add this to this, bring this over here. Great, it's actionable. It's simple directions, and emails are great for that. But in more abstract ideas like get your act together, be on your best behavior, don't be caught doing stupid things like smoking in the bathroom, don't do something stupid. More general ideas, I think it's easier to make them more forceful in a meeting. Yeah? Would anybody... do you agree or disagree with my opinion? It's perfectly okay to disagree with me. I disagree with myself frequently. Anyway, Ken, yeah, go ahead.
I agree, and for the record, I worked in a IT company, and the bosses read all emails from everyone.
Yeah.
For the account, they have the access to read all the emails.
Right. I really don't want the vice president of operations smells funny to be read by the vice president of operations. Yeah, right. Hi, Ken. By the way, sorry I didn't.
Yes, hello.
Hi, welcome to the class. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another. These are kind of interesting and fun to talk about. I'll give everybody a chance to throw in your 2 cents if you want. But Saiban, can you read number 2 and tell me what you think?
Okay. Okay, reminding staff about the annual meeting to discuss the sales budget and sales targets next Wednesday morning. Okay, so it's about reminding staff.
Yeah, reminding about a meeting, an annual meeting. Maybe that's important.
Okay, so I think maybe email because it's annual, and email it will be fine. Email because it's annual, and it's being like a traditional about this event. So I think email will work. I think email is working for this situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, I think there's more than one possibility for some of these, and this one really, in particular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe email, and maybe in informal chat, like texting.
Okay. Maybe.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have any other ideas to remind people about an annual meeting with what was it? Sales meeting or something? Sales budget and targets. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Some people are going to need to prepare. Somebody's presenting the budget and the targets, so they really have to know ahead of time. And some people are just going to be there. I don't know. Does that make a difference? Anybody else have other ways to communicate?
Perhaps, yes, like you say, perhaps some people in this meeting have to do more than others, and perhaps I think I would use a notice on the notice board or an email for everyone, and perhaps a one-to-one interview or a phone call to those that they have to present something or to talk about something.
Right. To give them a heads up, what's expected, what you need to do, when I'll be calling you after Henry. Okay, Henry's gonna go first and do basic introductions, but you're gonna be up first after Henry. Stuff like that. Just, procedural. All right, this is how it's gonna work, right? That kind of stuff. A heads up. Yeah, people. Here's a common expression, by the way, in English. We communicate internally frequently, by giving someone a heads up. Hey, just a heads up, when the senior vice president comes for a visit next week, he's gonna want to see the server. All right, so I need you to take him into the server room and just give him a brief tour. Something, that's what we call giving people a heads up.
Excuse me, I didn't get the picture. Could you please just explain it more, please? Heads up. What does it mean exactly?
A heads up, and we say it like a noun, not a verb. I'm going to head up somebody. No, if you're going to head up something as a verb, that means you're going to manage it or be in charge. That's totally different. So don't be confused. A heads up. I wrote it in the Verbling chat box.
Yes.
Okay. A heads up means you're giving somebody a warning. It's more or less an informal warning. Okay, about information that that they should know about. If you're doing it on an email, as a matter of fact, we have an acronym for that. Not heads up, but we have a kind of an acronym, letters that we use when we communicate by email. Does anybody know what they are? Anybody know what? Very good, David. Yeah. All right, you beat me to it by seconds. FYI, for your information. When we write information, we can sometimes write FYI, and then a hyphen or a dash, and some important information that person should be aware of, at least. Okay, that's like a heads up, Saiban. A heads up. Let me give you a heads up. All right. Tomorrow we're having a special, somebody from the government's coming, so I need you to clean up your desk, make sure everything's illegal is put away.
Okay, got it, teacher, thanks.
Okay, just a heads up, man. Okay, anyway, all right. Yeah, I kind of I agree with what David said, and I also like the idea. Probably a notice on a notice board would be very normal. If you had an in-house magazine, you'd probably have a notice in there as well. Absolutely. In addition to email. Okay. Just to make sure everyone goes to the meeting. Yeah. All right.
Teacher, sorry. What is in-house magazine?
Okay. Good question. This is some very large corporations, multinational corporations, will actually produce a magazine for the company, for the employees in the company. If you have 10,000 employees, 20,000, whatever, something like that, just to notify the employees of things like we have a new chief financial officer, our company is working this month to promote the fight against breast cancer. Things which your corporation doing. We had some excellent publicities. Here's some excerpts from a New York Times article about our company. Stuff like that.
Oh, it's like a local newspaper in a small town, for instance, about local news. Yeah.
Except it's for the company. That's right. And
Yes, yeah,
David,
got it.
David points out it's usually digital nowadays, and that's absolutely correct. It may be like a link from the company website or something, as a matter of fact.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. And again, in-house refers to internal, and more formally we say internal. Less formally, more casual, common, we say in-house, as opposed to in-house is, in the company, and external or out of house when you're talking about customers or other companies you work with or the media or the government, whatever. It's external or out of house. Okay, let's continue. David, number 3.
Okay, asking for staff suggestions on ways in which production could be streamlined.
Okay. There we go. Asking for suggestions.
I think, obviously, we can use a suggestion box.
Obviously, that's the answer they want you to give. However, let's talk about suggestion boxes. I think this is a fun little side topic. David, do you think suggestion boxes work?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's something you can see in many places, but no one uses it. And I think if I want my staff to make me suggestions, I think I communicate with them in another way. For example, perhaps I would send an email to everyone and for a meeting to talk about this topic.
Yeah.
But you can. It depends on who are you communicating. Who are you talking? I mean, if you are in a big company and you have to talk with hundreds of people, perhaps a notice on the notice board is the best option. If you work in a small office, perhaps you can suddenly start a meeting at the middle of the journey, and you can say, hey guys, please remind to send me all of your suggestions, and tomorrow we will discuss about it.
Yeah, I like we will discuss it. You don't need to say discuss about it. Just discuss it.
Discuss it, okay.
Yeah, all right. And yeah, it's very funny. Of course, probably all of us are familiar with the ubiquitous suggestion box. Something is ubiquitous, it's everywhere. It's cliche. You see it everywhere. It's very normal, at least for the situation. And many companies have a suggestion box, but frankly, and everybody, most people, almost pretty much everyone I've ever talked to has David's attitude that no, they don't work.
No, I think that the best is I like to have a suggestion box opened always, and I like my employees. They know that they can communicate with me whenever they want, and they can choose the way to communicate, and they can talk with me when we meet at work, or send me an email or WhatsApp.
So, what you're saying is as a signal that you have an open door policy and that you will listen to their ideas, basically, as a symbol of that. Yeah, I think that's why people have suggestion boxes, actually. Actually, I've seen that suggestion boxes work in two circumstances. One, when you have a suggestion box for the customers. Sometimes they actually have good ideas. Obviously, often they complain, but occasionally a customer can give you a good idea. That's happened before in my work-life experience. And the only other time it worked is when I worked in a place that had 3,000 employees working on the grounds, 3,500 employees actually.
Yes.
And you have that many people, you get good suggestions about general things, like how to redo the parking structure, parking lot, or things like that. Some ideas like that, more about, and maybe some directly related to business, but in any case. Yeah, okay, Jonathan, they threw their suggestions in the trash. Anybody else have any? I have to ask, do you have suggestion? Obviously, Jonathan's writing comments. You have suggestion boxes. You know what I'm talking about, what we're talking about. Ken, in Japanese companies, is there a suggestion box for people to make employees? Does that exist? That, I don't know, cultural phenomena? I don't know what you want to call it.
Suggestion box means people post their opinion in the box?
Well, now you could probably do it somehow else, but it used to be literally a box with a hole in the top that is locked, and you write on a piece of paper your suggestion for the company and stick it in the box. That's it.
Yeah. Company also some public facility like library or university or swimming pool.
Correct. That's right. Yes, absolutely. So they do have that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes answer should be on the wall. Yeah, it's answer are on the wall sometimes. Not all of the answer, but some suggestion was answered. Displayed on the wall.
Oh, afterwards. Okay, yeah. They were looked at and, oh, here's some great suggestions, so they put it on a notice board.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Right.
Okay. I've even seen, I've worked in a company where they have suggestion incentives, like, okay, you make a good suggestion, you get a $100 bonus, something of that nature.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of, for example, in the swimming pool, someone suggests, why this is happening, or you should change this, and answer. Some answer are displayed on the board after that.
Right. Obviously, the good ones, the ones that are flattering for the company, not the ones that say the CEO should take a flying leap off the nearest bridge. Obviously, they're not putting that on the notice board. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, are you guys talking about restaurants? I was a chef, and I would definitely always read all of them, for sure. But another idea, just for a smaller group or a smaller team, is to create a culture of having what are called brainstorm meetings. Jonathan, do you know what I mean? What I mean, a brainstorming meeting?
Yes, to sit down and think about ideas to implement in the company.
Yeah.
You kind of write down what you think, and you can make maps of everything you think. Like I don't know how to say the term in English, but it's like a map of the ideas that you bring in the table.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're making a brainstorm, like a map with circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I can't remember what that's called. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean, right? The idea being, then, the important thing is that there's no idea too stupid. You've got to let people be as creative as possible, and sometimes that can work in the proper setting, in the proper way. Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. Let's move on. Let me take a look at the next one here. Jonathan, since I'm just
Yes.
talking to you. All right. How about number 4?
Okay, informing a manager that his present job is being transferred to another office in another city. You are the human resource director.
Okay.
Informing a manager that his present job is being transferred.
All right. So there you go. So if the manager wants to keep his job, he has to move to another city. That's it.
Wow.
And you've got to tell him. How are you going to tell him? Are you going to be a nice guy?
If I want to skip him, I send him an email.
Yeah.
But I think that it would be better a meeting.
Probably.
Because this is an important topic for him.
A one-on-one. You mean a one-to-one meeting? A one-to-one.
Okay. Yeah, a meeting is for more people, ¿verdad?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Or you can have a one-on-one meeting or one-to-one meeting. That's perfectly normal to say that in English as well. But
one-to-one.
Yeah. There were a few companies that had that had some backlash. There was repercussions because they laid off a lot of people, or they gave them their pink slip. Do you know what that means, Jonathan? Get your pink slip?
No.
Okay, it's a little bit idiomatic. It used to be actually extremely physical. Literally, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago in the United States, if you were being laid off, there was not enough money, not enough work, whatever, and the company couldn't afford to pay you anymore. You literally would sit down at your desk, and there would be a pink slip of paper. Slip of paper means one piece of paper, which is basically a receipt. Sometimes you might have seen receipts where one copy, you get the white copy, the pink copies for the file, and the government gets the yellow copy. This idea, and the employee would get the pink copy, always pink, don't know why, and it would basically tell them, thank you for your services, you have been a great employee, we will pay you 2 weeks severance pay, but your services are no longer required, goodbye, and that's it. So you sit down at your desk and, ouch!
Everybody fear the pink.
That's right.
In the university is the yellow one. If you have a yellow paper, I think it's you fail a class.
Ouch! Really? Okay. That's funny. Oh.
Everybody take the paper, and if it's yellow, they
freak out.
Yeah, freak out and
okay.
And try to hide them.
Oh yeah, right. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Okay, right. Okay, all right. Anyway, there's been instances where companies fire a lot of people, and they do it by using this pink slip method, or they do it by an email, like you were joking around at first, and it can have backlash because it can find its way into the media, into newspapers, in trade articles. Don't work for these SOBs.
Yeah, I think the one-to-one is better because if you wrote an email that could be in the news or in the newspaper of the town.
That too. Yeah, emails are impersonal, and people, at least Westerners that I know would be very offended by that. Something like that. Very offended. You'd be very angry about that.
That's being polite, something like that.
Yeah, it's not showing respect. It's disrespectful, right? And then, you could end up with somebody going postal. Does anybody know what going postal means? No? Okay, business related? No, you don't know going postal? Okay. Well, okay. I love it when I get to explain these things. All right, it's idiomatic. It's when some disenfranchised, disgruntled employee, an angry employee, like in the situation I just illustrated, gets really angry, brings a gun to work, just starts shooting people.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it has become more and more common for people, one lone crazy person, to shoot a bunch of people. We're seeing it more and more in the world today, but actually this kind of started years ago with a United States Postal Service, a mailman. For some reason there was 2 or 3 or 4 of these disgruntled, angry employees that went back to the post office where they worked and started shooting everybody, killing everybody. So this idiom was born, going postal. So when somebody goes crazy and kills their boss, they're going postal. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we don't want that either. That's the other thing we would love to avoid, somebody going postal. Okay. Ken, number 5 here. What do you think?
Number 5, communicating the need for better timekeeping to unpunctual staff. You are the team leader.
Okay. You know, punctuality problem. You know punctual, right, Ken?
Yeah. Yes.
On time. Okay. How are you going to talk to your team?
Team leader. I'm a team leader.
You are?
Okay. At first, I cannot being late for the meeting.
You're not late. Here's the idea. You need to communicate. How would you communicate the need to be on time to your team? We're not saying you're late. You're just the one who has to tell them.
So in order to say so, I cannot being late. You know what I mean?
Okay. To not be hypocritical,
yes.
You can't be late yourself.
Yes.
You mustn't be late yourself. Well, yeah.
Yeah. And how maybe in this case, personal communication, face-to-face communication is better.
Okay, why? Maybe you're right. Why?
Yeah, because the email or such kind of thing, people just can ignore and doing the same thing again and again. So more personal touch is necessary to persuade people, to pressure on people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is to this, because personally I would love to hear anybody's suggestion here, because I've had this problem before. I've been a manager several times, and it's easy to correct when, people are starting to be late. You guys need to get here on time. Come on, you're getting me in trouble with the higher bosses. Have a meeting, and generally, all right, the problem goes away. But inevitably, there's one person on a team who's always late, no matter what you do. You one-to-one them. You put in a meeting. You email everybody, no matter what you do. You incentivize it. I'll give you candy, whatever. I'll give you something. If you just get to work on time every day for the next 2 weeks. You punish them. You carrot and stick them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, carrot and stick, yes.
Carrot and stick,
maybe we need to ask what is the reason you're always late. So
okay, that's a good suggestion.
punishment or penalty, I mean, and some reward also works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they have a problem for something, the reason maybe we need to do or cancel that or. But
that's a
yeah.
good point.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reason? Is the reason
Mm.
because you're an alcoholic and you're up drinking every night? Is the reason because you have a sick grandmother? Right?
Yes, yes.
I see. The root cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, Ken. I like your thinking. You're hired.
Okay, thank you very much.
These are actually good questions if anybody's hired. These are good. I just realized that these would be good kind of questions to turn into job interview questions. This exercise would be interesting to convert into a job interview. That just occurred to me just now. And in any case, yeah. Keep that in mind, maybe. I don't know. All right. Okay, so I think we've seen that there's different ways to communicate depending on what we're doing here, why we're communicating with people. We've made it around the horn once, so I'm going to do a little more direct, couple vocabulary exercises with our last 10 minutes. All right. Now, we hinted that I gave an example of an abbreviation or an acronym earlier, FYI, for your information. These are some, I didn't know all these. I knew some of them. I didn't know all of them. What do these abbreviations mean in terms of business communication, memos, written notes, texts, and things like that? Sasha, what is BW? I forgot already.
I don't know. I know only 3 and 6. And 8.
How about BMW?
Yeah, good car.
Okay. I forgot. I looked at these before class to get ready, and because I didn't know them all. Now I've already forgotten. Does anybody know BW? No? Nobody knows? Okay. Well, all right. Well, think about it. At the end, I'll tell you. All right. You don't know? All right. Saiban, do you know number 2?
Actually, teacher, I know number 8. I don't know number.
2 is easy. You can get 2. What is 2? It's normal. Oh, I know. I know the first one. The first one, BW, best wishes. Okay. You put it at the end of a memo. BW, best wishes. Yeah. Okay, number 2, Saiban.
Actually, teacher, I don't know.
No idea?
I
Ken.
don't know.
Ken is right. Ken, you know, right?
Yes, it means minutes.
Right. Minutes. That's it. Okay, meeting in 5 mins. Meeting in 5 minutes. Like that. Okay? That's how you're going to use that. Okay. Speaking of, I didn't know BW, best wishes, myself. There's another one, BTW. Does anybody know that one? Which is common. Anybody know BTW? No? By the way. Yep. Ken, you got it. By the way. All right, an extra piece of information. Slightly different, you would use FYI for your information about something you think is important the person should know. But BTW, by the way, Harold has a new haircut. You got to check it out. Okay, not exactly vital interest, but some piece of information you think the person is interested in. Not that it's important, usually. Okay. All right, David, what do you think? PLS.
Please.
Please,
I
of
don't
course.
know. Yes.
Please send the documents. ASAP, like that. Yeah, of course. That's silly. That's obvious. Jonathan, CD.
I don't know.
Forgot this one already too.
No, I don't know.
Does anybody know? CD?
It's about CD-ROM or
CD-ROM? No, no, no. In like office memos or writing. What could this mean? All right, we'll come back to it. All right, YR, Ken?
I think it's year.
Year? Yes, it's going to be year. That's right. All right, Sasha, ASAP or ASAP?
As soon as possible.
Yeah, and we, in English speakers, sometimes say the letters ASAP. Sometimes we pronounce them ASAP. All right. Yeah, Saiban, how about PA?
Pennsylvania? Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's for the Pennsylvania, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It is for Pennsylvania. You're totally correct. Okay.
But not in business. Not in business term. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Unless you live in Pennsylvania. Okay. Then it would be a business term. Okay, he's absolutely correct. This is the accepted abbreviation for Pennsylvania. Does anybody else know what PA may mean? Then, of course, we have all kinds of crazy ones like David's talking about. IDYF, I don't like your face. Where's the L? Idolf. Okay.
Down.
Yeah, I got it. I see. All right. Got it. PA, personal assistant. I think everybody knows CEO.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Chief Executive Officer. What is, I cheated. I wrote the notes down here. What is CD? Okay. Could. CD is could. CD, you send the documents ASAP. Could you send the documents? Oh, okay. I don't know that one. I have used CLD. YR, Ken. I thought it was year as well. Your can also be used to your. Yeah, okay. Just in case you see them. I'm not even familiar with those. Whatever. The language is shortening and minimizing. I can't keep up. Let's see if we can quickly, just 3 minutes, figure out using these terms in the box, crossing out reference, fill in the blanks with reference to your memo concerning training courses. These are common phrases in memos and emails. Very common. Most phrases in writing, business writing, are just repeated over and over and over and over. Let's see. Okay. David, number 2. Blank to our discussions this morning. Huh?
It occurred to me that I don't know.
I don't either. What?
I don't know. Advance to our discussions this morning. I don't know if the morning is in the past or in the future or in the present. I don't know.
This morning would have. When we say this morning, we're referring to earlier today. Or you're talking about the same day. When you say this afternoon, this morning, this evening, you're talking about in the same, like today is, what is today? July 8th. You're talking about it in the same day. It doesn't matter if you're talking about it was earlier in the day or later in the day.
Anyway, I don't know the answer. I don't know.
I don't either. Okay. I don't get it. I was automatically thinking in regards to our discussions this morning. Okay. With reference to concerning training, courses, and negotiating skills. blank. Pursuant to our discussions this morning. What? I don't get that.
Maybe hearing.
Yeah,
Hearing, teacher.
I'm looking at the answers. Further to our discussions this morning. Well, that's weird. Okay, even I didn't know that one. Never mind. These are ridiculous. And we're out of time anyway. Never mind. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. All right. Tomorrow we'll do another business English class at this time. But I'm out of time. I'll be back in a couple minutes with another Verbling class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Bye.
Bye.